guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. So did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Did you? Did you know? The only difference between a Bird 10K and a Bird 5K is the fan pack. So tonight, because I've spent all day cleaning and painting and uneffing this dummy load. Let's see here. I eventually need that. A little bit of these. Gotta put it back together. Two of those. A little bit of that. So now I gotta rewire this whole thing. Repair some stuff that showed up here, snapped off, and smashed. That's okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm actually really excited about this. I needed a new dummy load, like bad. If you guys haven't noticed, I've pretty much melted my other one. It's seen way better days. And reached out to a friend of mine, and he was able to give me what I needed for a really good price, and I ain't bitching, not at all. Spent all day cleaning, and all day cleaning, and all day cleaning. It wasn't really what I expected to do in my day, but we're here, and we'll bitch about it. This isn't going to work for me. There we go. So now we're going to reassemble the fan pack, and then we're going to rewire it. grade 5 bolts, since the whole weight of this unit is going to sit on these legs. This thing was filthy when I started. So all dummy loads leak a little bit at their vent. They have a vent at the top. So this one apparently has been turned up on its side at some point or another, and it dribbled out some jism. And well, all oil-filled dummy loads, I'll put it to you like that, they can leak. This is going to be our control end down here. This is where we're going to have the auto circuit and fuse holder and on-off switch and that kind of stuff at. It's going to be down here. So my other dummy load I had, it has been on the downward end of life ever since I did the Vader video where I was keying 40 and 50,000 watts into it. I did not quite care for that. So then I had to go to my backup load, and it has now developed problems because it is woefully inadequate for what I do on this workbench. It's starting to upchuck its guts, so I knew it was time. Either I could stop using it, spend the money and go buy a new piece of equipment, or I could keep going down the same path and eventually destroy what I have. I figured, well, I think it's time to go buy a new piece of equipment. These are some aggressive fans. I cannot wait to see how loud these are when I turn them on. I'm going to love it. I love air cool. Love it, love it, love it. So this thing had a 5 amp Aircraft Avionics round pole 5 amp breaker. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't feel like using one of them again. So I used a fuse holder. And I'm not even ashamed of it. Well, I'm not. So I know someplace I've got, God, I don't know where I put it. There it is, right here. This is for a Drake. It's a 110 volt light bulb, 125 volt, 0.3 watt. It says so right there. It's a UL underlisted component, not China excrement. I'm going to use that as my on indicator. Ooh, red. Use that as my on indicator. There wasn't one in this thing previously, by the way. Fit through that hole? No. I'll fit through here. Right on. Okay. It's my on indicator. Now, the way this switch is going to work is it's going to be automatic or manual. Now, this dummy load's got a heat sensor. It's in the middle of the oil pack. Okay. And so when it's set in the auto position, it won't do anything until the dummy load gets too hot. It'll trip that sensor. Trip that sensor. Either way, it's going to turn this light on. Okay. So now we got all these extra ugly little holes in the front. And in my myriad of sheet, I got a bunch of hole plugs. A couple of them should be the right size. We'll make it look all pretty. We'll put labels on it and all that kind of stuff here. See, pretty. I like things nice, and I like things clean, and I like things to look proper. I don't like to work with half-assed equipment. It used to drive me nuts when I was a kid. I remember I was installing stereos with this guy when I was a young man, and he would take 8 pieces of 8 gauge about this long and put butt splices in them to make a jumper that was, that long. Instead of just spending the money and having a goddamn cost for a fucking right piece of wire, it used to drive me crazy. I had to look at him like, dude, you that cheap? And he's like, well, that's how I've gotten to the life that I have. I used to look around and go, wait a minute. What kind of life is that? So I'm getting ahead of myself here. I can't use can't plug up all them holes. The rubber that was in this thing was short. It was short. So you rub her hair. Grommet. Okay, now to wire. Okay, so we're all wired up now. Got our 5 amp fuse in here, and of course it is heat shrinked and isolated and the whole 9 yards. The way this is set up is attached to this lead eventually. I gotta be careful because this lead's hot, at least the black wire is. It goes to this plug here, which I have to repair the plug on the dummy load too, and that goes to a thermocouple. And the thermocouple, or the heat sensor, or the heat activated switch inside the load, can auto turn on the fans. But Tarzan, made by Rotron, kind of cool. So got new power wire put in the back, got the support brace installed, and got labeling on the front. Now these fans really get with it. So, guys, feel to read this carefully and take notes on how I have this labeled, because it is really important. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Bump, bump. I got it up there. I gotta figure out how to get fans underneath it. I'm sure this is gonna involve some test of internal strength of some kind of manhood. That thing is at least 100 pounds plus. Goddamn dummy load, man. Whew. Oh, shoot. I don't want to take the side plates off, although that's what I should do, and then set the dummy load in there, but how are we gonna do this? I really wanted to show you guys this, but I've been struggling with how to video this where I wouldn't be obscuring my workspace, and then it dawned on me, wait a minute, if they want to watch, I might have to just deal with it. So, you guys get to watch. Okay. So these leads were completely snapped off, and this plug was completely snapped off. Here. Just stuck out. And it's just the way it was in packing. You can undo, there's 2 Allen set screws that are here, and you can lay the sensor down. And I'm pretty sure that's what they did, since this wasn't too overly muffed up. And now my mission, because the leads are so broken, so I want to go back and I want to heat shrink this. We're going to tell ourselves this is fiberglass wire, fiberglass jacket. We're not going to say things to ourselves like the asbestos word or anything, because I don't think that's the case. But then there's Teflon jacket that's also down in there that insulates the McGob from the heebie-jeebies. Keep the Magic Pixie steered where they need to go. There it goes. And before you ask anything silly, like, yes, I did actually desolder these plug-ins before I tried to okay. All right. All right. God, that had long leads on it, or I would have had to drain the whole goddamn thing. And then I would have had to unstop this sucker, pull it out of here, and then rethread dope it and a whole bunch of other shit and get it all put back together. Thank God it had a little bit of extra lead length on it. Okay. All right. So now, the next step is this. We're going to grab the black and red wire from the auto sync side, or the auto start side, and we're going to run it up here. Like that. Should run around the outside of it. On the outside, and then I think around here I got a whole bunch of these. Before I commit to the design, I should probably make sure I got them. And I needed to have this before I could do this next bit, these two huge projects, and so here we are, right on schedule. Okay. Before I do that, getting ahead of myself here. Let's retwist our wires back together here. Okay. Okay. That ain't gonna fly. This is too small. And that's not the fitting I use. I'd blow this thing apart. I gotta go with an LN or LC. Not an LNC, but an LC connector. The PL259 works okay over here. But if I want to attach this to anything bigger than maybe a 3000, the PL259 will fail me. And I found that for some reason, right here at the line terminus, of course there's a little bit of heat that takes place here from time to time, the PL259 connector melts. So I've got a special connector that takes it from the RG316 down to an LC, but then everything else that I have around here is either LC, 7/8, or inch and whatever, 5/8 or whatever it is. So, and then a 3-inch, 3 1/4 or whatever the hell it is. But this won't work, especially when you're sporting numbers like this. That's right. 10 grand. And my serial number on this one is 115. Yes, sir. I'm really excited about that. My last 10,000 watt dummy load I had was a dry load, and I ended up killing it, like I said. And I've been running on my backup one, and now my backup one's starting to have problems because, well, let's face it, it's been like 32 pill, 48 pill, 24 pill, 32 pill, 32 pill, 48 pill. That's yeah. It was time. That and these two other projects I got coming up, they're 10,000 bird or better. So I needed to knuckle down and just get this done. So okay, well, next step, let's put on the side plates for the fans. So now this one here, this side panel here, I didn't have to do a lot of modification to it. I just had to beat all the dents out of it. Just had to beat all the dents out of it, and then had to re-rivet this holder on. It had seen better days. I think would be the best way to put that. And this thing is a wobbling goblin. It scares me. It floats all over the place, so. But it's all pretty now. That's all that matters. And the reason it's so wobbly is because it's missing. There's a bunch of support hardware that goes up the front here. Here, 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 and here to stabilize this plate. So, first things first, we've got to get the fan guard here married up with its holes, the fan body, and get that put together down here. Let's see what I had it on wheels now. God dang, this thing is heavy. I had to sit at an awkward angle for me to have it up on the bench like this. So, for your entertainment pleasure, I'm giving myself a hernia. All right. Yeah, that needs to be reshaped. Hold on. A little clip down here needed to be manipulated. Maybe the best way to put it. And I'm just a couple very small steps away from being done with this thing. So that's kind of got me excited. All right. This is the side that I had to beat and pound, bang the ever living poop out of to come back into somewhat straight. But I got it. I need two washers. Oh, washers. Washers. Where are you, washers? There we go. There's one. Okay. There's uno. Dos. All right. So we'll leave those loose. So get this bottom panel to line up. working upside down. Blind. Okay. Okay, one. That's one. There's two. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that second hole to line up on this front one. Nope. Okay. So let's transfer down here. Start that one. Okay, now I get to flip the whole mess around and do this again. Okay. Now inside these holes are little plastic bushings we are going to take advantage of. We are just going to stiffen the shit out of this. This thing is a wobbly goblin. I'm like, oh no. Stiffened it up like right now. Woo. That's incredible. Wow. So the first dummy load I bought, I remember I told my wife, I said, man, I'm never going to need anything bigger than this. And that was a 1,000-watt dummy load. And I remember where I was at. I was driving down the road and I was getting ready to go tow an airplane. DC 6 or 8 or it's a precursor to the jumbo jet. It had 3 engines on it. They the fire crew here in town use it to train with, and the tug that they had hooked to the airplane to move the plane, their training thing had broke down, attached to the airplane, and I just went and towed the whole mess. I went and towed the plane and the tug and everything. And what I mean by I towed it is I hooked onto the tug and rolled it to where it needed to be with a whole bunch of snatch blocks and stuff, and then jostled the tow truck or the tug around and got it disconnected, and then towed the tug. After we used the boom to remove a whole bunch of weights from it, because a lot of a tug is just weight, sheer torque, force power. I was on my way driving to go tow an airplane in a tug, and I thought, man, what an odd day this has turned out to be. I'm going to go ahead and buy this dummy load. And I bought it, and the first one came to me from out of Israel, and it was incredibly dirty. Very, very, very dirty. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, she thought it was hilarious because I needed to give the thing a bath. I did. It needed a bath, so my crazy ass just crawled in the shower with it. And she's got a picture of me up there washing the Jesus dust off of that thing. Remember I made that joke, I'm washing away the bones of Jesus down the drain. She didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was freaking hilarious. But then again, you guys, if you haven't figured it out, I got kind of a warped ass sense of humor, so. My next one was that dry dummy load, and I thought, man, I'm never going to need anything bigger than this. And yeah, I was wrong. straight up wrong. And in the meantime, I'd found at a Hamfest the smaller load that I've been on now for like a year. And by the way, thank you, Mr. Black. I don't know what that means. And damn, this thing here is so big that, I mean, it's 10,000 watts continuous. I want to put Vader into it now and see where we end up. I mean, I bet you this could take 50, 60,000 watts. I mean, not continuous, but I bet you could surge it into this thing and be no problems. We'll find out, but not in this video, not today. Rock solid now, man. I'm trying to keep these bottom plates loose until I got all this hardware banged in there and sucked up straight. Two more to go. No. Well, while I'm here, Okay. There it is. Now, is it the stand that isn't even? Or do you think it's my workbench? I'm going to go with the workbench. Built this whole thing so I could rebuild it, all the edges and each one of the sections. And I beat the holy piss out of this goddamn bench. Okay. I had a special jumper that I built. Where did I put that cocksucker? Son of a bitch. Found it. Prepare to laugh, you guys. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. This is an LC to 316 DS adapter, which allows me to neck down to a PL259. But with coax it's flexible so I can look at stuff. No joke. Let's take a look at the dummy load. Now that we've gone through all this work, all this energy, let's make sure our conical cone, trapezoidal, any other big word I can think of right now to insert here, resistor is resonant. Let's turn on our network analyzer. I would say yes. Good God, yes. Let's set our span for 100.000 megahertz. And our starting point will be at 0. Get that down to about 0.000. Let's see, how do I want to look at this? We're going to do here, let's see, mode. S11. There we go. Span. Well, let me do 100 megahertz. No, just 53. Okay, so at 160 meters, I have a 1.0, and all the way out past the dummy loads rated, which I think is 0 to 30 megahertz. It just says 50 ohms, period. Wow, cool. It's a 1.05. I'll call that good. So let's see, we'll hit center and we'll make that 50. Jesus. Actually flat resonant all the way out past 76 megahertz. Okay, so let's see here, center. We'll go 76.00, enter. So now we're starting to show a little bit of resistance. As in, at 102 megahertz, it's got an SWR of 1.22. Oh, this son of a bitch is just fine. Alright. Oh, the last detail. Last detail. It's much better, I think. An anti-abrasion spiral wrap all around the thing. Now this is going to sit down underneath my workbench until the end of friggin' time. Gentlemen, I appreciate you all tuning in here tonight to check out my video on my new little bird dummy load that I've got. I gotta tighten these nuts up yet. Nah. Guys, I gotta go. God, Lord only knows I got enough projects just like this I gotta do. And to the guy that sold me this thing, thank you very much, man. You gave me a great screaming deal on something that's really, 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 really good. It's going to go to a lot of use over here from now until the end of time. Gentlemen, this is now my official bench dummy load. So just know. All right. On that note, I got to go. And don't forget, if this red light's on, your shit is as hot as fuck. Oh shit, I got to go. I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Bump, bump. Okay, let's run ourselves a little test here. Bring on the high voltage. Now, what we got going on here is I've got the dummy load hooked up to dear old Big Dad Vader, aka the Death Star, and then I got the GoPro there on the floor looking at the thermal camera. So as we go and we get this thing hot, which we're going to try and do, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do, we've got an actual temperature. Now, let's make sure that's square, that's good, GoPro's running. Okay, let's go up here. Let's take a look for at this. Now, this slug on the right corresponds with the 50,000 watt slug. It was on the right that I just showed you. This is a 100 watt slug and reflect. Reach down here and grab my pedals. Okay. Let's see. Driver's on. Radio's on. Let's see what we're putting into it for drive. That's too much. That'll get us 10 grand immediately. So now the hardest thing that people have to wrap their head around is for every individual square that needle moves represent a full 1,000 watts. Now, we are just testing this dummy load and I want to see where the fans are going to kick on. So you'll be able to hear that in the background because they're incredibly loud. So let's just get this thing hot. Alright, so there's 3,000, there's 5, there's 10. So now on the FLIR we'll start seeing heat start to build inside the dummy load here in a minute. Let's go ahead and run this up so we can speed the process up. There's 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, somewhere in there, about 30, 35. We'll back this up. I'm getting 9 watts of reflect at 3 times its input limit. So we'll set that at double. Just hold this here for a minute. 20K going in. Now I'll bring it down at 10. It's a 10,000 watt continuous rated dummy load. And I've got 2 watts of reflect coming back from 10K going in. I don't even see the dummy load heating up. Pretty anticlimactic, wouldn't you think? That's kind of what we're after. I don't even see the fitting to the dummy load getting warm. I'm putting 20 in it, and the fitting is just now starting to come up about a half a degree. Huh. Who knows? We might be here all day. We're testing the auto function of the dummy load, by the way, because I'm planning on leaving this thing plugged in and the auto sensor on, but I thought, man, how long will it really take to get the thing hot? There, the front side of the dummy load's finally come up maybe half a degree. It's crazy. We got a 107 degree exhaust air coming out of the tube. That's cute. Not even warm. Still at 62 degrees. Jesus, really? What's room temperature? 62 degrees. (109-degree exhaust air temperature). Starting to get some warmth in it. Not even feeding it's starting to get warm. I'm impressed. It is a big giant oil can after all. Is this thing even getting warm? What the hell? It's still ice cold to the touch. Oh, baby. Fittings are ice cold. Dummy load's ice cold. I wonder how long I'm going to have to stand here and do this. Probably a while. Turn that sucker on up to 20 and hold it for a little bit. pulling probably like 260 amps out of the wall right now. 250 amps, somewhere in there. All I'm really doing is rounding up my power bill.
Downloads up to 70 finally. Whoop whoop.
Tell you what, this one's way better than the dry one I had. God, a dry one, man, it'd get hot and input reflective change and ugh. Try this again. Oh yeah, it's starting to warm out. God, at what point does that thermocouple kick in? It's amazing load, man. Remember when I started out, all I had was an oil-filled paint can. Bought it from Red Rooster, CB, or something off of eBay. Remember, I spent like $30 or $40 on it, and I thought, wow, that's a lot of money. Back when? You know what I mean? Way back when. And then I went to a couple 1,000-watt Bird. Then I went to that dry dummy load and melted that thing eventually. I don't think I'm going to have that problem with this particular load, though.
We're over here. 71. About the thinness of it.
No. I've seen temperatures over 115 for a second. Let me reposition the FLIR. Really about 106 degrees right now. So let's keep going. That's incredible. Air temperature's still about 105 on the tube. Gotta think the thing holds probably 2 or 3 gallons of oil and is completely covered top to bottom in heatsink, right? That's a lot of oil to heat up. Okay, let's run ourselves a little test here. Bring on the high voltage. Now, what we got going on here is I've got the dummy load hooked up to dear old Big Dad Vader, aka the Death Star. And I got the GoPro there on the floor looking at the thermal camera. So as we go and we get this thing hot, which we're going to try and do, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do, we've got an actual temperature. Now, let's make sure that's square, that's good, GoPro's running. Okay, let's go up here. Let's take a look for this. Now, this slug on the right corresponds with the 50,000 watt slug. It was on the right that I just showed you. This is a 100 watt slug and reflect. Reach down here and grab my pedals. Okay. Let's see. Driver's on. Radio's on. That's too much. Just take your hand. So now the hardest thing that people have to wrap their head around is for every individual square that needle moves represent a full 1,000 watts. Now, we are just testing this dummy mode, and I want to see where the fans are going to kick on. So you'll be able to hear that in the background because they're incredibly loud. So let's just get this thing hot. All right, so there's 3,000. There's 5. There's 10. So now on the FLIR, we'll start seeing heat start to build inside the dummy mode here in a minute. Let's go ahead and run this up so we can speed the process up. There's 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, somewhere there, about 30, 35. Back this up. I'm getting 9 watts of reflect, 3 times its input limit. So we'll set that at double. Just hold this here for a minute. 20K going in. I'll bring it down at 10. It's a 10,000 watt continuous rated dummy load. And I've got 2 watts of reflect coming back from 10K going in. I don't even see the dummy load heating up. Anticlimactic, don't you think? It's kind of what we're after. I didn't even see the fitting to the dummy load getting warm. I'm putting 20 in it. Fitting is just now starting to come up about a half a degree. Huh. Who knows? We might be here all day. We're testing the auto function of the dummy load, by the way. Because I'm planning on leaving this thing plugged in and auto sensor on, but I thought, man, how long will it really take to get the thing hot? There, the front side of the dummy load's finally come up maybe half a degree. It's crazy. Got 107-degree exhaust air putting on it too. That's cute. Not even warm. Dummy load's still at 62 degrees. Jesus, really? What's room temperature? 62 degrees. (109-degree exhaust air temperature). Now we're starting to get some warmth in it. The light and feeding it's starting to get warm. Impressed. This is a big giant oil can after all. Even getting warm? What the hell? Still ice cold to the touch. Oh, baby. Fittings are ice cold. Dummy loads ice cold. I wonder how long I'm gonna have to stand here and do this. Probably a while. Turn that sucker on up to 20 and hold it for a little bit. Probably like 260 amps out of the wall right now. 250 amps somewhere there. All I'm really doing is running up the power bill. Dummy loads up to 70 finally. Whoop, whoop. Tell you what, this one's way better than the dry one I had. God, a dry one, man, it'd get hot. Input reflective change. Starting to warm out. God, at what point does that thermocouple kick in? When I started out, all I had was an oil-filled paint can. Bought it from Red Rooster, CB, or something off of eBay. Remember, I spent like $30 or $40 on it. I thought, wow, that's a lot of money. Back when, you know what I mean? Way back when. Then I went to a couple thousand-watt bird. Then I went to that dry dummy load. I melted that thing eventually. I don't think I'm going to have that problem with this particular load, though. Where are we here? 71. What about the fitting that's above it? Seeing temperatures over 115 for a second. Let me reposition the FLIR. currently at about 106 degrees right now. Let's keep going. That's incredible. Temperature's still about 105 on the tube. I think the thing holds probably 2 or 3 gallons of oil and is completely covered top to bottom in heat sink, right? That's a lot of oil to heat up. Yeah, 114. Come on, fans. There we go. All right. There we go. Now we know. There's a GoPro taking an image of the FLIR. It's over here looking at the dummy load here. I don't know, I'm pretty satisfied, you guys. This makes me very happy. Gentlemen, on this note, I'm done with this. I'm going to let the dummy load cool off. We're going to slide it up underneath the workbench, and I think we proved our point. It works. Gentlemen, I appreciate everybody tuning in and checking this out. I got to go. I got a bunch of stuff I got to take care of this week, and I got a bunch of prep work. Happy Easter, everybody. Appreciate you all. I'll see ya.